Yeah, hi. Good morning. Also, we have 50 participants currently in the call. So let us start. So quickly, I'll just introduce Saurabh. So Saurabh is the CSO of Lark Printer, and apart from his current work and all, he is also a expert in AI implementation and especially on Perplexity. So we are thankful from the entire community that he has volunteered to give us a masterclass and take us up the curve in the overall use cases. So the use cases also we had done this polling also in the group based on which it was identified, and these use cases then Saurabh will take us through. Yeah, Saurabh, over to you.
Okay, so I'm Saurabh Lohiya. Arnab already introduced me. I'm Chief Strategy Officer at Law FinServe. Fintech and psychology are my two domain areas, and my family passion is AI development. So Perplexity is a tool, and we'll talk about a lot of important things which matter. So yeah, focus of this session is not exactly Perplexity. Perplexity is a tool, and tool alone does not make any difference. Okay, what we are all we are looking for are smart edge systems, and that's why I added context engineering. Okay, so we are not, the audience here are not from college. The goal of you is not to learn your tool, and we know that AI world is very fast paced. Tools keep changing today. We may be talking about Perplexity. Yesterday we were talking about ChatGPT. Tomorrow we may be talking about something else. So we are using a tool to demonstrate, but the tool is not a focus. The focus is the outcome, right? And the audience here are mostly decision makers coming from both tech and non-tech background. Okay, so I'll tailor that accordingly, and please feel free to keep typing, chat anything, like any question that comes to your mind or anything you want to discuss here. Okay. So, yeah, collating knowledge, creating context, and using context. These are three major components if we are talking about building smart systems. Huh? And this is going to be a very high intensive 60-minute session because I need to cover a lot. I need to cover the fundamental concepts of context engineering, and I need to practically demonstrate you how how AI can be smart, how AI can be practically useful, how it can make an impact on a business. So by the way, when I say smart systems, let me show you an example. I'll open up some chatbots on large banks, large organizations. For example, say HDFC Securities. Yeah? So we have a chatbot here, and it is supposed to answer customer queries. Now let's try asking this. So HDFC Securities, HDFC we all know is like country's largest bank, and Securities it's the brokerage division. So say I ask here, which mutual fund to buy. Okay, so let's see how it responds. Okay, so it threw an error. Hmm? Okay, so let's try something else. Um, Tell me about HDFC Securities. Again, an error. Okay, it's not working. Anyways, let's try something else. Say ICICI Direct. I'm not sure whether they have a chatbot or not, but we'll just check. If they have, does it work? How does it work? No, they don't have. Now, say Bank of Baroda. They have Aditi Varshalara. Ask Aditi to track now. Okay, it doesn't even open. It takes to a new page. Okay, so I was talking about smart system okay, no, it is taking information for an external thing, and then it asks for login. Okay, so this is broken. Let's try something else. Say Canara Bank. English. So when the website loads up, so many pop-ups. Okay, so here we have something. Okay, I accept. Okay, finally I'm here. Okay, now say I want to ask which fixed deposit gives highest return. Okay, it's a bank, so I'm just trying to ask that. Let's see. So it is taking some time. As per my knowledge, at least okay, so it gave a decent answer. Now suppose I don't know much about Canara Bank. Okay, so I say will tell me about Canara Bank. I'm asking about the organization. So so see this funny reply. Okay, so it's saying I cannot tell you any information about Canara Bank, but it can tell which FD to buy. So we were talking about having smart AI systems which works on context. So I gave you a very brief like what is not smart, and I mean I felt that was not smart. I just showed you. This is statistics by most surveys that 60% of AI projects fail. Some say 60, some say 80, some say 50, but we know a good number of AI projects actually fail. It failed because there are too many misconceptions about AI. And when we're talking about AI adoption in sales, in compliance, in customer support, so it's not prompt engineering. It's not about writing good prompts. It is not about asking the right question to the chatbot. And AI adoption is not tool shopping. I know what typically happens is people fixate themselves on a particular tool. Like we are talking about Perplexity, but this is not like Perplexity is not magic. And or ChatGPT or any other tool or any vendor comes to you and they say, see, we have a patent technology, we've got this, So don't think that AI adoption is tool shopping. You can't fix things with a tool. There needs to be there needs something more than just choosing a tool. Then AI adoption is not about perfect data. So some people also think that we need to hire a data scientist, we need to get into those data processes if we have to adopt AI. It's not like that. And some people have FOMO, they think, I can't understand AI, AI is something very special. So that's not the case either. So AI adoption is not rocket science either. Hmm? So what is AI adoption? This is this is what we need. Any smart AI system. I showed you the example of a customer support agent or a chatbot. Okay, and this is the minimum that that the agent should be able to handle. Agent should know about the business, and when we're talking about the business, if I'm asking, tell me about Canara Bank, it should answer something about Canara Bank. If I'm it should maintain a brand tone. Every brand has a different identity. Now those who have exposure, they understand how much a brand matters, how much the narrative matters. Okay, so the chatbot should carry a brand tone. It should have certain SOPs, like what kind of questions to answer and what kind of questions to redirect. Not like throw errors or say I cannot help. If it cannot help, it should redirect to a human. There should be some SOP there, and of course, it should know about product, and it should also understand the client. Now, this was about the business side, and it should understand client persona. It should understand their pain points, their stories, their transaction status. So, ChatGPT has uh, has set some kind of standards with what people expect when you put up an agent or a chatbot. Okay, like these kind of people don't appreciate these kind of answers typically. I'm talking about. You must have seen I'm using the terms knowledge and context interchangeably to show you what is knowledge, what is context. So we cannot, and we should not expect any AI tool to be intelligent as human. Because it's fundamentally different how AI works versus how humans work. And this is like very basic thing, very fundamental, but very important to understand. So human knowledge, it comes from a lot of things, from experiences, skills. Human knowledge may have biases. It has information, and we live in physical world, so we have far more exposure than AI. And we have long-term memory. If you talk to ChatGPT, I mean, if you're working, with tools, you'll see that they often do not have long-term memory. They can't remember what you talk to them, say, a month back or 2 months back. Hmm? Not exactly, at least. They have some customization, personalization, but not like they can recall a conversation exactly. Then, human knowledge, it can be generalized across situations, can be acquired through, I mean, yeah. So basics, like we can evolve reflection and feedback. AI context, now it is about current prompt plus memory window. So you all must be using chat gpt or perplexity, you all are using some kind of tools. So AI context is related to what prompt what you're asking them for, with some kind of memory window. Hmm? They don't have a long-term storage by default. You can build, but it's not by default, and it's there is a context window. Okay, so there's a limit to what it can remember. Like if you might remember a movie, there was a movie Ghazni where the main protagonist, the hero of that movie, he actually had a short-term memory. He would forget what happened, say, half an hour back. That is very much with AI also. Okay, it will change answers with new inputs. So there are some similarities that how uh, interpret the inputs. You can think of AI as just the only. It is very smart. It is very intelligent, but it has a context window. Means the knowledge which it can access, the information with the memories which it can access are limited. Humans have a very large context window. Humans have a very large memory of stuff, like how to act for particular situation, and AI has very limited context. Okay. So by the way, you can do these kind of stuff in Perplexity. We'll explore this with other things. Uh, So when we're talking about understanding how AI understands, so there is more to it than just giving a prompt. There are system instructions. You can give it access to files. You can give it some examples also how to respond to a particular situation. You can give it knowledge graphs so that it answers accurately. Okay, so by the way, I come from La itself, and we work on loans against mutual funds. So we have a agent named Lisa, and say I ask it the same questions. Tell me about La itself. Okay, so you see, there's no kind of a TNC tick up, no kind of asking for emails, nothing here. So this is what is supposed to be. It should tell me about La itself. Okay, it gave a long answer. What is the unique offerings, and what differentiates us. Okay, and say if I want to ask the interest rate for LMF, that's loans against mutual fund. Yeah. So it is giving, but it is also saying that you can take it is giving the primary answer, but it is also repeatedly saying that you can get personal assistance if you enter your contact details, you provide your contact details. So Shaker says interacting with chatbots is frustrating. Too many lobs and not so relevant answers. Yes. Saving cost, call center the only objective. Yes, definitely. Saving cost should not be the only objective. It should bring in some business also. So I shared this on a LinkedIn post. You look at this. So this happened actually with me. I went to a website and I was asking, that particular website, it was a nice fintech company, nice startup, and they provide PAN APIs. You can you can authenticate PAN data of your customers. Okay, so I went to that website and asked for the pricing of PAN API. So what they say is, before we get started, what's your name? And so, like, you just, I mean, I felt I'm polite actually. If I'm asking you something, just answer that, right? Like, why should I first kind of authenticate myself with you? I'm not asking for some my account information or bank information or something. Okay, banks do that, that's okay. But so this was a general query, and they asked for what's your name. So I said in reply, so you don't want to answer my query without capturing my data. And what the chatbot did is it assumed this is my name. Thank you. Thanks. So you don't want to answer my query without capturing my truncated because that may be the limit of the length of a human can understand. Can I get your email address? Okay, so this chatbot is assuming that this is my name. And this chatbot is from HubSpot. Okay, so it displays this is the HubSpot logo. HubSpot is a very big company. So this keeps happening again and again, like, and we are kind of used to it, but this is not what it is supposed to be. Yeah, we were talking about Perplexity. Let's come to there. So we're talking about context, we're talking about use cases, and this is why I'm, here using Perplexity as a example. So Perplexity is similar to ChatGPT, but it's different. It's similar, but there's a lot of difference. The first difference is we are talking about context. So the first difference is in context learning. So, by the way, this is a little old info. Right now, I think it offers more than 10,000 file connections. Okay, so the amount of context you can give to Perplexity is you can manually upload up to 500 files. You can connect your Google Drive or your Microsoft OneDrive with that, and it will have context of as much as 10,000 or more files, and you can train it on 10 different websites. OpenAI has a similar product called Custom GPT. Uh, and now Perplexity allows you different models like, not just GPT, OpenAI models. It allows Claude, Gemini, and all. Okay. And it allows you deep research. You can search in files. There are too many actually things. It allows collaboration. It allows external data service. Okay, like you can search through facts and Crunchbase. Okay, so this is why we are using Perplexity here for this session. It has very huge context compared to any other tool. Yeah. So I'll show you, how this goes in action, how it's all practically useful, and I'll show you, tool use also. Okay, when you sign up for the free version has, it also has these features like research. Okay, research. Yeah, yeah, 3 queries remaining. So yeah, so it allows you to test research. It allows you to do 3 research per day. Labs. Okay, free version will not allow you labs. Like it should, you have built a presentation out of it. The free version will not allow you to create presentations or stuff like that. And I guess there will be some other limitations, but in any case, like, you can use the free version to explore. And Perplexity Pro is very easily available. Like, recently Airtel announced a partnership with Perplexity, so every Airtel user, anyone who has a Airtel SIM card, they have Perplexity professional version for free. I'm using the enterprise version currently. Okay, so we were talking about use cases. So we go deep, very deep in one particular use case, that is client support, and I'll use that as a reference to show you, other use cases also. And let us create a new space, say client support. Okay. Now we want to give it a context. So like I was saying, you can add files, you can, add your website, you can add instructions also. So I'll first add file, local file. So what I did is here, for example, I just had a PDF of Zoho CRM. I have uploaded that. Let me create one more space at the same time. Another window. Yeah. So I'll add here, say, another space for compliance. Okay, for compliance, we want an AI that can understand very meticulously long policy documents, like which are tedious to read, humanly, right? What I have done here, I selected a dog. I'll show you for the Basel framework. So this Basel framework document has around 1800 pages, 1800 pages. And so similarly, and this is just one file. So like you can upload, 10,000 or 20,000 pages of compliance documents here, and you can use it to refer to that when for a particular use case. Okay. So this first example I was giving you of client support. Now what we do is we have added a source. Now we go to settings. Okay. Now how should it answer? Anna? So this is called system instructions. Answer instruction or system instructions. Now, whenever you ask a query, like today, tomorrow, once you create a space after 30 days, whenever you ask query, you can give your instructions how to respond. Okay, for example, I will say respond as a friendly customer support agent named, say, Rahul. Okay, always talk positively for your company, Zoho, right? This is what we typically expect. Okay, so this is the customer support agent. So this just we can have long instructions also. For this demo, I'm just keeping it short. I'll turn this off. Include where by default. Okay, so when we wanted to answer properly from files, we should always turn this setting off. Save. Now, okay, here. Okay, by the way, people were asking, is Perplexity a wrapper? How does it differentiates? I answered some few things. So see, basically, Perplexity allows you different models like Sonar, Claude, Gemini, R1, DeepSeek, and O3 is there, and it can answer based on that. Now let's ask, what is Zoho CRM? Okay, and this answer will definitely be different from a general query, because it is referring to a particular file. See now, hello there, I'm Rahul from Zoho. I'm excited. So it starts answering that way in that particular tone where we asked. So you can actually put up your brand tone here. You can put up your company information, whatever you want. Hmm? Now you cannot share. This is for your internal use. Like you think like I cannot share this thing with my clients. Of course, you cannot share it with your clients, but you can share it. Still you can make good use of it. To give you an example, you can create educational websites, blogs, and all through this. Okay, like I'll ask it, create a website and provide URL for a nice presentation for provide URL for an educational website on Zoho CRM. I'm using here Perplexity Labs feature. Okay, what you can yeah, so you can use Labs to actually build websites or build dynamic dashboards, create files. I'll show you. So it will create a website. Okay, so this is one thing. You can ask it to write blogs. You can ask it to write stories. Okay, you can ask it to draft nice email replies. Like customer, especially some people like not everyone is good in say written communications, and some people in your customer care team may be very good in verbal communications. They may not be as good in written communications. So they can use actually this space to draft replies. They can use this space to write blogs or stories and all. Stories, I mean, like use cases, something which people can relate to. And you can use this to perform quality check for support calls for ticket replies. Okay, once you have given in a context like how it should answer for particular queries, for example, you have uploaded a list of FAQs of what to answer and what not to answer. Then what you can do at the end of the day, you can have a transcription of your calls, or you can just export your ticket replies and you can ask it to do a quality check. It will give you a quick review like how the customer support team has been handling the clients. You can upload it and ask like what percentage of people are happy with the answers, or what was the sentiment, or what is the major issue in the last 100 support tickets. What is the major issue? Okay, what is the customer sentiment in the last 100 support tickets? You can play around with stuff like this. You can ask it to create a training module for new staff in customer care team. Now actually, let me show you this. We so happy to see so much of conversational networking going here, as if we are sitting live with each other. So by the way, this is about Labs. It is still working. I asked it to create a website, and you can see, how it works actually. So it was reading through modules, features, pricing. It is figuring out, what should be in that educational website. It is reading resources like, for the PDF. Now it is programming. It is automatically writing a Python code to, create a data structure from to extract data. I mean, to kind of categorize the data from that PDF. Okay, now it is coding the website. It is writing index.html. Hmm? Okay, so we were talking about an educational module, Anna, for customer care team. So I'm just sharing with you what we have at Law and Serve. Assessments, final assessments. These presentations, they are like generated through AI only, Anna. Like I was showing you one AI generated presentation. Back to home. So, your customer team can, assess themselves. Okay, they can take quiz. And yeah, final assessment all. So you can do these things very quickly in Perplexity, like I just showed you. It's working, by the way. Today, I noticed maybe they are giving Perplexity Pro version to a lot of users. Like lakhs of people from Airtel, they've signed up for the professional version, and they're using it heavily. So from today, what I've seen is yesterday evening and today, like the labs have started working very slowly. Anyways, let it come, and then we'll continue with other use cases. So compliance use cases, yes, you can create a space, which tells you whether an ad copy is compliant or not. Okay, so this is a very common use case. Like for example, uh, your content writer wants to publish a blog, and they'll first need to run it through compliance, and they can do a primary compliance check through an space only. Hmm? Like we uploaded here. Yeah, we uploaded the Basel framework here. Let's go to this. So I named the space as compliance. I'll give it a custom instruction. Act like a lawyer, read and reply um, meticulously and accurately. है So this is what is expected from compliance, right? So I've answered. I've just put it there. Now I'll click save. That framework is also there, and let's open the door. And okay, so like I was telling you, Basel framework is a very huge document, compliance document. It has 18,400. Sorry, 1,847 pages, and this is just one file. Okay, and if we want to answer a particular clause, a particular section from this, AI is supposed to answer accurately. If you ask it directly from ChatGPT, it would not be able to answer. Why? Because here we have better control of context. Now let me Okay, now for example, let us ask for this. What is income producing real estate lending? Okay, we'll ask this. It was good. Now, and let's wait for the answer. And also, let us ask the same thing from ChatGPT. Hmm. Now go through. Now have a look at the accuracy. You'll see a very huge difference in accuracy. I gave it, the same system instructions. Even then, I'll see there is a huge difference. Okay, we use the system instructions here. Settings. Now let us put this thing here. See difference in language. Language and how it is putting up the answer. Compare it with the original. Hmm? Uh, yeah. Please put up, your remarks in the space. So there is a question: can bots be made to work with DLT? DLT, definitely yes. I was giving this an example, so you can upload, create a space, and you can create, upload DLT guidelines there, and you can check for your. You can actually run your o- entire website. Check also whether your website is compliant for a particular policy or not. That is a very practical and easy use case. Okay, so I did a session earlier on use of AI in customer care. Hmm? I'm opening that video here. Okay, so here is a discussion about that. Okay, now this is this was a another session of mine how AI use cases how used for customer care, and this is a 52-minute long video, right? And say you don't want to go through the 52-minute long video. Now let's see, how we can make use of this particular bot, which is answering very accurately and meticulously, right? This is what we asked it. So I'll say create a document with heading, subheading, pointers, etc. from the transcript of, and I'll give this video link. Okay, we'll do the same with ChatGPT also, and we'll see the difference. Okay, now this particular space or bot, this has been asked to act like a lawyer. And we have now asked it to fetch the transcript and okay and create. Now it is also trying to refer to Basel framework, and it saw that both are different, so it has just process the transcript. Now let us do the same thing here also in ChatGPT. Okay. Hmm. Yes. Now we'll see the difference. That Basel framework, not everyone may be familiar with, but this would be easy for us to understand, the difference between accuracy and depth, how both are processing. Now, summary, now this is given by Saurabh Lohiya. It has insights as for core concepts, key benefits, enterprise AI use case, sales assistant, e-commerce integration, lead generation, information retrieval, AI landscape, how the tools compare, evaluation. Okay, now it has benchmarks, core rank principles, user query processing, retrieval mechanism, information log, NLP. It has gone really detailed and it has given, it has worked meticulously, right? Chatbot selection criteria, how should you select a chatbot? So you see, okay, there's a lot. Implementation roadmap, okay, how you can implement it. Conclusion. And now look at, what ChatGPT answered. Even if I'm using paid ChatGPT, what I want you to, understand is there will be a difference between if we are giving, proper context, that will also make a difference. It's not that Perplexity is superior to ChatGPT. Okay, it depends on context of what kind of context we are giving it. Is this, interesting? You can create documents out of, any podcast, YouTube podcast and YouTube sessions. Like if you're not into, if you prefer reading to, just listening to the entire podcast, you can quickly create these kind of documents. So, we can have some such kind of practical use cases also. We are just, I can show you, I can demonstrate you. If you have anything in your mind, just put it in the chat. So we move to the next part. Yeah. So I was talking about compliance use cases. The first one, I showed you the second one, a space which accurately explains a clause from say 10,000 pages of policies. The first one can be done similarly. Like you can your content team before talking to the compliance team, they can run a compliance check by themselves. Okay, whether it it whether whatever ad copy or blog or website copy, whatever they are writing, whether it is compliant or not. Or you can create a report that analyzes your website copy to create identify compliance gaps. Okay, now like you want to check whether your entire website is compliant based on different guidelines, so you can ask it to do that. Like I showed you, we analyzed a YouTube video transcript. Similarly, it can analyze a website also, or you can use it to proofread emails. Okay, like uh, stockbrokers, like fintech, they understand when you're writing an email to the customer, you have to be careful. You can't just write it casually. So if there's a new employee, they can use a particular space for proofreading their emails. Sales analytics and employee onboarding. So this we did a poll. A few people take this, but I wanted to include this because it matters a lot. I've been an entrepreneur. I've run companies, and it makes a tremendous difference. The first week sets the tone of the first 3 months. When a new employee joins, the kind of support and onboarding they get for the first week, it will set the tone of the first 3 months. And the kind of onboarding support targets they get for the first 3 months sets the tone for the entire tenure. So I consider it very, very important employee onboarding. And similarly, like I showed you, we're doing at law. Like you can create training assistant, you can create HR policy assistant, and you just upload the entire HR policy, and you can share the link of that space with your employees. And they have any questions, they can ask there. You can have quiz and prizes, like you can have some assessments for new employees, and you can give them some kind of prizes, some sort of rewards when they complete their onboarding. You can have you can build an MIS assistant. Makes sense? You want to, so yeah, I've covered a lot. Actually, we'll come to the last use case of sales analytics. So if anyone has any questions, any use case you want to ask, please write in the chat. Okay, so Abhishek is asking, can you demonstrate some dashboard with labs? Okay, so I'll share you. This is a bit funny. So I this was part of my session that I have to show you how to create sales dashboards. You know? Now, those who are in sales, they understand it very well. Like whatever CRM you have, you'll be never satisfied with the report that it generates. Okay, whether you and CRM, of course, they allow a lot of customization. Now there are, for example, in sales there may be multiple VPs. So we say you are using any CRM, it may be configured as per what multiple managers in the sales team they want. So it, and you may need to focus on a one particular KPI, one particular metric. For example, you just want to focus how fast that your team is closing the deals. Okay, instead of focusing on net revenue, you for a particular month, you want to focus only how fast the team is closing the deals. Or for a particular month, you want to focus one area based sales. You want to show up in your dashboard. For example, you want to see sales from Noida area only on top of your dashboard. So this is one, like custom dashboards are very, very important for people in sales. The second case is setting up an email for daily sales updates. Okay, now the team, a lot of what happens is they'll send emails, they'll send the reports in emails, and you'll need something which can actually read the emails and which can actually create which can actually create a custom report and it can mail you. Okay, so you can do that. The second one would need comment also. So Perplexity is a comment browser which can read your emails, and based on that, based on that access, it can create dashboards. Then you may create separate API dashboard for each of your sales team. Okay, if you're adding a sales team, you may have a different set of KPIs, for people working on different products or different areas. Or you may have a different KPI dashboard for each of your distribution partners. Right? Like especially for example, loans and insurance business, it depends a lot on partners. So you may like to provide a specific dashboard for your partners also. Now, so I wanted to show you how to build a sales dashboard, and of course I can't show you the data we use in-house, like law FinServ data I can't display here publicly. So see what I did in the morning. Okay, so I was telling you my challenge was to show you all how to build a dashboard from sales data. And to build a dashboard from sales data, what I need is I need a CSV file with sales data, right? Okay, so what I did is I asked it to create a CSV file instead of worrying myself, worrying myself with the CSV file. I asked it to create it. See, it created. Okay, so what was the prompt? How I did it? I'll show you again. So I said generate a CSV file with mock data for 20 days sales by a loan distribution company. The purpose of CSV file is to, I gave it the purpose also, so it has the context that why I'm creating this file. And it created this file, day of the week, loan ID. Okay, now look at its intelligence. Loan ID, I didn't ask it, I didn't give it the columns, it did it by itself. Loan ID, sales representative, which sales guy is closing the deal, customer name, loan type, educational loan, auto loan, loan amount, commission earned for each loan, customer segment, business owner, professional, lead source, city, processing time, customer satisfaction, interest rate. Okay, so this is typical sales data that we have. So this is first, I generated sales data. Then second, okay, I wanted a dashboard. So I said, write a prompt to generate a nice dashboard. So, like I was saying, prompt engineering, does not matters actually. So actually you can ask Perplexity to write prompts for itself. Okay. Instead of telling myself, of course I can tell myself also what all the details dashboard should have, but I took it self. Okay, because I was in a hurry. So it has created a dashboard prompt that create a sales dashboard with these things, key performance indicators. Okay, so it has decided what are the most primary KPIs, do a time series analysis, do a product performance analysis, so and so. Then I ran a prompt, create a website, provide URL, and then I just copy, the entire thing. Now, when I did it first attempt, I forgot to attach the file. So it shows the steps here. Yeah. And it started, but it was not able to assess. So yeah, it was asking, do you have the CSV data file ready to upload? And I uploaded late. So by that time it had broken. Okay. So it could not show me. So I put the prompt again here. And then it created this dashboard. So I generated the prompt from Perplexity itself. And I uploaded the CSV file. But it's not that you need to upload a CSV file. You can, connect it with Google Sheet. You can connect with Excel. Those features are there. So Perplexity product features, you can search on internet. You can use their own official channel. So that was not my purpose to actually train you on Perplexity. My purpose was to make you understand what works in AI and what does not work. So you see, it has created a nice dashboard there. Huh? Okay, so this header stuck. Okay, I did one final prompt. In this, the header is stuck. So I did. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes, currently the header is stuck. The header is stucky and not user friendly. So this may happen. I'm just giving you a practical example. No? This header was stuck. So I said currently the header is sticky and not user friendly. Modify the dashboard to make header fixed on top. And generated another link. Now this final link was what I was looking for. So now we have a full dashboard with APIs. You can export, you can filter it by time, like first 7 days, 30 days, 14 days overall. है You can filter that way. You can track commissions like daily, how much you made money. Okay, weekly performance, city wise, sales team. Okay, now who did Vikas Yadav? Okay, so he did the top sales. है He earned the topmost, yeah, and he brought the topmost commission. How was the performance on particular days? Like you can see, Amit, he has not been performing lately. Okay, so many things you can do. So what is the limitation here? We see mostly the limitation is in our thoughts. We can do a lot with AI. Okay, so and we also, I showed you in the beginning how most chatbots are kind of dumb. Hmm? So I created chatbot for this particular session. So you see, I created a chatbot. So it's saying, so it starts with a bubble. I can place it, like I've centered it on the website, but I can place it in a corner or anywhere. And it starts with some chat like, hey, did you attend Saurabh session at IFF? And what I'm trained on. See, did you attend Saurabh session at IFF? Let's chat about AI strategy, AI adoption. So this chatbot, it is first, kind of creating a relation actually with the customer. Like you are the audience here, not the customer, but say the audience. You're coming through IFF session, so it is, referring to that. It is telling what it can do, that it is trained over AI strategy, AI adoption, and it is, yeah, what is its context? Like, what is its capabilities? Let's do this live. Okay, I'll just minimize it. Yeah. So now we were seeing that, other chatbots are clumsy, too many prompts, too many things coming up. I don't understand, like, why do they need that? We can have, something much similar. So which question should I pick up? This is live actually. Please tell me that, like, there are 5 questions here. Which one should I pick up? Should I pick what are key AI risks, or should I do how do I manage AI talent, or how do I start AI adoption, or which AI use cases deliver ROI, or which AI use cases are really hot right now? Hmm? Last one, should it be the last one? Which AI use cases are really hot right now? Okay, Okay, so everyone wants to talk about ROI. Yes. So that is what I was saying. So this is not a section to learn perplexity, and this is the session how you can make an impact on your business, because like the audience here is all you know decision makers, mid to senior level people from BFSI. Okay, so I'll start with this. Which AI use cases deliver ROI? Okay, I click on send. So it's thinking, and okay, so it gives a short answer. AI use cases which directly impact business and are easiest to implement give the highest ROI. So two things: it should have a direct business impact, and it should be easy to implement, not something which take months to implement. And it could be depending on your company, what context you can give it. Like you can give it for sales, customer care, sales analytics, employee training, and so on. And focus on transforming routine processes first. Okay, so whatever are the routine process, we can start transforming that, and it gives an option to log into save chat history. Hmm. So I'm just saying, instead of kind of forcing people to log in, give their name or email, I think this is a little more user friendly. They have the freedom. They ask them purely if they want to save chat history, they can log in. Now, let's say I'm talking about IFF. Let's say someone is curious. What is, yeah, so I start typing IFF. Now it should give some kind of dynamic suggestions. Like say people are asking, like someone may have a question like, why are you talking about IFF, or what is IFF, for example, so IFF is a community and I'm its member. That's all. Okay, that's all my relation. IFF is free right now and growing fast with trust and transparency. So it tells about IFF, and say someone is talking about perplexity. Okay, do you teach perplexity? Like, let me just pick this. So no, I don't. Not just perplexity. I don't teach any tool at all. Okay. So yes, I like to network and I like to work with people for amazing AI use cases. Okay. So yeah. So what I wanted to say, all everything depends on. So this is a front end. Front end is not a challenge to build. This is a front end. The challenge is giving it the right context. Everything depends on context. Hmm? Here, and context, we are starting here. Say if you're starting with perplexity, you can give, this is the minimum context that you can give. So we can have Q&A now. We've already overshot the time. We started a bit late also. We can have Q&A and then we'll end the session. Arnab, if I missed, any chats, you can unmute yourself. You can, speak on people's behalf, please.
Yeah, so sort of thanks. It was a really interactive session. The chat was quite lively and lot of back and forth was happening. So I think Abhishek Tandon had some question at lab, but I think if you can do it, show it in lab, but I think you had covered it. One question Girish Kukreja had was how does bot built on Perplexity give handle to call APIs for transaction related information?
Okay. So perplexity bot does not allows to connect. Does the perplexity has not released APIs for its bots. The bots are spaces. They are called spaces there. So perplexity does not provide APIs for its spaces, and they specifically why they don't do is because they first want you to kind of get hooked to the product, and they may do it at a later stage. So yeah, so there are no APIs available, but because a lot of people want to do something custom for that company, I actually pulled up a slide here. Okay, where you want the answers to be with 95% satisfaction. So this is a bigger diagram, Hannah. So what you'll need is, okay, okay. So this is okay. Like perplexity is okay. It's cheap also. It's easy to get started. No, not much tech. But if you want to build something custom, you'll have to invest some time. Like, you'll need to have a custom rack. Like there was a chat in the group already, Molly was answering that. You'll need to have your own rack. You'll need to have NLP, because AI always hallucinates. Like, it may have a 0.1% chance to hallucinate, but it has chance. So you need, for compliance sensitive chats, you can define keywords. If the customer is asking something which is sensitive to compliance, instead of sending that query to RAG, it can be sent to an NLP engine, machine learning engine. So don't use AI, where customer, you have to answer something compliance sensitive, where accuracy is like, even like 99.99% accuracy is not acceptable. You need 100% accuracy. Then use a NLP engine. Okay, and always use human support, because there are always out of context queries. Okay, however, hard you may work in building FAQs, there will always be out of context queries. Actually, let me show you a very interesting thing here. Another interesting thing. Bajaj Capital. We all know about Bajaj Capitals, right? Okay, so they are a well-established organization. Now, but if you go on Bajaj Capital website, and the loans, so they are our partners. It is powered by law. My Visa agent, you will see on Bajaj Capital website. Okay, so we have white labeled it for them. Now, why they are using our agent? It's not because we have some kind of superior technology. Why? Because we've taken the pain to build a very good context. And as context is a defensible mode. Context is a differentiator. Technology is a commodity. Whatever you can build, someone else also can build. But what context you can build, it is very difficult for someone else, because they don't have access to your database. They cannot build the same context. So context is a very big differentiator. And for context also, we can have, different things. We can have customer based triggers, like, someone is signing up with you, someone is paying you something, someone is a first time website visitor. So depending on, the trigger, like, the status of the relationship of the customer with you, you can give a context. You can give a context based on client persona, and of course you can have knowledge base, like I showed you. And yeah, so this is an overall, if you really want to, implement something custom at enterprise level. I hope I answered that, Arnab, completely. All right, so can we end this session now?
Yeah, Saurabh, thank you for your time, and we have had a very engaging and participate. All our participants, we thank them for their patience as well. If there are any queries or anything, please do post your queries on our AI and BFSI IFF WhatsApp group, and we'll be happy to get back to you for any doubts and all. And thanks a lot, Saurabh. Thanks for taking out your time and doing the session with all the participants.